Welcome back to the Sports Source. This segment brought to you by Madisonville Marine. Boating season is upon us. Madisonville Marine has a lot of selections for you to choose from in stock right now. G3 boats and Suncatcher pontoons with rebates up to $4,000. That ends May 2nd, so get down there. Godfrey pontoons and Hurricane deck boats with rebates up to $2,500 off. Ends May 31st. Again, depends on the model of boat, but in-stock boats, rebates up to $4,000, up to $2,500. There's a reason I've said it for years. It's because it's true. Madisonville Marine, there's no better place to buy a boat. All right, back with Jimmy Himes, who joins my VFLs over here. Let's talk about some of the players or position groups, or just in general. We're just going to make this observations, but people who popped, or if you saw something you didn't like, something that flopped, something you're a little more concerned about, what grabbed your attention, Jimmy Himes, or who, or what?
There were a couple of running backs that I liked. Cameron Seldon. He had a 24-yard burst, showed some speed. He's 6'2", he's 215. He's a big running back. I remember us 2 years ago talking about Tennessee needs a big back on short yardage. Now, they were pretty good in short yardage last year, but still, that kind of size, he was really a good-looking back. The other one I liked was Deshaun Bishop. Now, I realize that Tennessee in spring games have had a number of running backs that have gained a lot of yards. Mark Jones, that guy that went to Hawaii, I forgot his name. Christian Biggers or something. Anyway, what I liked about Bishop was this. Now, he had an 8-yard run, and the first contact was 8 yards downfield. And I thought, nah. But there was another run where he had nothing, and he squirted underneath and got behind an offensive lineman and gained 4 yards. And I thought, that's a really good run. He runs with good vision. He runs behind his blockers. I really like what I see out of him. Now, he may be 4th or 5th team, but I was impressed with what I saw out of Bishop. I think it looked to me like he belongs.
I thought, to me, is the first guy you mentioned.
So
I thought Seldon. I thought Cam Seldon looked spectacular. I mean,
amazing.
This is a receiver turn running back. Maybe he can catch what he looks like a running back to me. He looks like Jalen Hurd is what he looked like in terms of size, stout as a true freshman. He looked every bit the 4-star. Had the size, also has that burst. I mean, he had a couple where he hit the hole and was gone. Cam Seldon to me looks special. It's a scrimmage. There's a real risk of overreaction, but he looked to me like a guy that he needs to be on the field this fall quite a bit. That was my take. Your thoughts on Seldon?
That was mine. I mean, the guy looked special even in practice, so that was mine. What really popped to me, and this is, once again, something I just look for in spring practice and spring football games is the unification of the team. I mean, they're really forming a family atmosphere over there, an incredible culture. And when you have that type of culture as a football squad, you go into the game, in my opinion, that puts points on the board and takes points off the board for a team. So that gives us an advantage every Saturday when the team is unified, like I'm seeing from this particular squad, which I think is special right now.
Especially good when you consider Hendon Hooker gone, Jalen Hyatt gone, Cedric Tillman gone, Byron Young gone, Darnell Wright gone. You're talking about key guys that are all going to be top 2-3 rounds in the NFL draft. So you would think there would be some leadership voids there. We'll see what happens when the heat gets turned on. But I agree with you. That's a positive.
And
it does seem like
those guys
culture.
are leaving, but the lessons and the energy they gave is part of the program.
And to kind of piggyback off of that, the one thing I was most impressed with is this Tennessee team has depth, and they've got playmakers that are the second and third team. I mean, some of the catches that the second and third team guys were making, like, that didn't happen when I played. Like, we didn't have that type of depth. And, like, to beat Georgia, to beat Alabama midway through the season when you're going to have injuries, you're going to have things that happen, you have to have great depth at the 2s, 3s, and 4s. And you have to have those guys pushing the starters every single week to get better. And the offensive line, I mean, just like you mentioned, you had Darnell Wright gone. They stepped in yesterday and seemed to have a pretty decent game. If I was gonna say someone that flopped, it was the white team center. Seems like he gave up a few sacks, but so maybe the orange team nose tackle was good.
There were a couple. I thought Kalen Webb had made a couple nice plays, and Ethan Davis, a tight end. I don't know the extent of his injury.
He put on it. Heupel didn't update it after the game. He did say it was not the same shoulder that he hurt in high school.
Right.
And then Davis put on Instagram last night, small setback, be back soon or something. He downplayed it, so that's a positive.
But I like him.
He stood out to me. It was Seldon and Davis were the two that were up there for me. Well, go ahead, Kai. I didn't mean to.
No,
what'd you like
I
about
was
him?
just making a point about
Yeah.
those two, Webb and Davis. I thought made some nice catches and showed some ability. And I know they had the top 4 receivers out, and they don't play a whole lot of receivers, but you can't count on 4 receivers being healthy all year. So Webb needs to come through at tight end. They don't have many scholarship tight ends. I think they got 3.
Yeah.
So Davis needs to be healthy. I think he could really help this offense.
Yeah, I was impressed by Davis.
And I was kind of surprised that 25% of the completions yesterday came from just the tight end group. I hadn't got to see a spring practice yet, but I was surprised to see that level of tight end use with this offense.
And what's beautiful about it, in an unfortunate situation, his tight end mate, Jacob Warren, came to see about him right away.
He did.
Right away. And so those are things that just resonate with me because I know when you go against a team that might be better than you and you're not poking at them, you're swinging at them, you got a chance to win.
It's all about love with you.
All love.
Hey, all right. When we come back, let's keep this conversation going. Let's see if there were some other people that stood out to some of the other guys we'll rotate in here. Next, who stood out, who popped, who flopped? That's next on the Sports Source.